The future is here and it's getting crazy. Today's video we're gonna be talking about, if you haven't already seen the title of this video of my on the video of the on my channel, well, guess what? The video we're gonna be reacting to is called "Experimental Drones in Chicago Area to Neutralize Mass Ooters, Disable Weapons." But it just means drones in schools. You got to see this. I've already seen this before reacting to it, or before pulling it up to react on my channel. But I have a lot to say, and I think you guys got to be a part of this conversation. So if you like the conversations we have here on this channel, on my channel, consider subscribing and turning on that bell, because I do post pretty regularly. Get your comments ready. Get your keyboards ready, because I'm going to see you in the comments.
Becoming the must-have tool in policing. Now the next generation is here. Tonight, the I-Team with drones that answer 911 calls on their own, and one of the first looks at an experimental drone system designed to foil would-be mass shooters. At the suburban Oak Brook Police Department, much like other agencies, drones are deployed and directed by humans.
We deploy them quite often.
Just last month, the department was called to help state police track down a person fleeing a vehicle wanted in connection with a shooting. The drone's thermal imaging technology helps spot and pinpoint that person fleeing. Now the department is going to the next level with the—
Which, by the way, I'm not against drones. I think they're a great means of protecting lives, protecting personnel. And they're, in theory, most of the time, or in theory, they should be cheap to make. But obviously, we have right now this weird period where they're overinflating prices of things, where it's like, oh yeah, they're cheap to make, but we're not going to make them cheap in price. We're just going to charge you the same. But overall, I still think drones, I'm not against them entirely. Like, I'm not terrified of Skynet yet.
A drone as a first responder.
It's not operated by someone traditionally holding a joystick. It's able to deploy itself.
The drone, made by Flock Safety, uses AI technology that's tied into the command center and deploys on its own from a roof to specific 911 calls.
Getting eyes on the ground prior to officers' arrival, that's going to be huge.
In North Suburban Libertyville, several former Navy SEALs and a business entrepreneur are working on the next aerial technological evolution.
Now it's locked on to Nate. As Nate presents, it strikes at Nate, so that's the show of force that we're talking about.
You're watching an indoor drone designed to—
Ooh, it just comes at you a little bit. Yeah. Okay, that's not the crazy part. Obviously, it's just a drone that they'll try to fix you out, but it doesn't do anything. But just wait. It's gonna get fucking crazy.
Detect and potentially stop a mass shooting on its own before police even have a chance to respond.
The drone is looking for a threat who's carrying a weapon.
Members of Breakcourt Solutions demonstrating their close-quarter drone for the I-Team. Equipping drones with firearms is illegal in the United States, so the concept with this system is designed to track the threat and then neutralize the weapon instead of the shooter.
Once the threat is detected, now it can begin tracking, begin following that individual, providing real-time information to first responders.
What's to stop the drone from being shot down, though? That's what this whole thing, by the way, is ridiculous for a lot of reasons. But what's to stop a shooter from just shooting the drone? Right? If they know it's not armed, and if it's AI manned, right, then where's the individual, unless they're manning it actively. But even then, it's like, if you're having to hide the drone from the shooter because the shooter's trying to shoot the drone, then yes, it's like distracts the person for a while, but it kind of defeats the purpose of the drone. I don't know, it just seems counterintuitive to what they're trying to do.
The inventors don't want to reveal trade secrets, only explaining that the drone can also lock in on a weapon and then strike the side of it, dispensing an adhesive substance that essentially jams the firearm's inner workings.
So the internal functions of the firearm no longer work.
It disrupts the bulk carrier group of AR-style rifles, semi-automatic pistols, pump-action, and semi-automatic shotguns. And those are 95% of the weapons utilized in active shooter situations.
The concept is for the drone system to be housed—
I just think that's if this could actually work. By the way, I'm not saying like we should have drones with guns. If this could actually work, that would be insane. I just don't see it actually working in practice. It just looks like a waste of money, especially tax dollars. Because if I'm holding it, all I got to do is see it come in and then just fly. Like, Like, are we like, I don't know. It just seems really stupid.
Throughout a building, activating when trouble is detected. The inventors comparing the prototype to a sprinkler system.
Well, why don't we have the modern day sprinkler system to active shooters and mass shootings? Like, that's what we're developing.
Oh, you couldn't hear that. You didn't hear that. I mean, you heard it, but you didn't see that. Listen to what he's saying right here. This is the part that really ticked me off.
Detected. The inventors comparing the prototype to a sprinkler system.
Well, why don't we have the modern day sprinkler system to active shooters and mass shootings? Like, that's what we're developing.
That's not what he's saying is a solution. It's not the solution he thinks it is. Like, he's presenting a solution to a problem that is actually not the issue. So, like, what you need is cameras. If you had cameras in the school, which most schools do, that immediately can link to the police department, that would actually solve more issues than a drone coming out of something that can get shot down and then be disabled, defeating the purpose of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? If the goal is to keep eyes on the individual, right, then you don't need drones. But if your drone is to stop the gun, yeah, it's just how is that actually likely to happen? Like, I just don't see it working. So first of all, we're running into a situation of wasting tax dollars on shit like this at schools. Okay. Second issue, I want to be very, very clear with this. The amount of schools that would actually be able to afford a technology like this is very, very low. It would be very, very high privileged schools, typically schools that wouldn't have this type of issue. And what's even ironic about something like this, because it's in Chicago, they're developing this technology in Chicago, right? But some of these schools don't even allow metal detectors because it's racist to have metal detectors in schools that have gang violence and shootings all the time. Which is funny because they don't consider those mass, but it's between two students gunning each other down, and they make it gang related. But it's like, so the people that are gunning each other down, you can't even put this in the schools because, oh, drones are racist. They're putting them in the schools that have the most violence, but it's racist that you're doing that. We can't even have metal detectors there. We can't even have officers there. It's racist. So you have that issue. Then the school, if you look at it at the actual school, this whole thing pisses me off. It's not scary. You probably thought I was gonna come in here and be like, Skynet's gonna kill us all. Yes, but also, holy fuck, why are we trying to solve problems with AI drones that doesn't do it? Just put fucking officers in the schools. Like, this is so, like, drones and AI is not for everything. This is the perfect example of not that. I know a lot of people are going to probably come in here and be like, technology is scary. It is, but I think this is a really stupid use of it. Just to be honest, there's so many cheaper solutions to any possibility that this could be done, because I don't feel like this will actually work. Now, if these record solutions people want to reach out to my channel and say and show me it firsthand, like, show me it, like, they want to fly me out, I go check it out, we make a video on it, they prove me wrong, I'll take the L. I will sit here and I will take the L. If they are like, hey, you know what, we think you got us wrong, man, here, we'll fly you out, come out here, blah blah blah, I make a video, and whatever the results are, I'll take it. You know, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I just don't see this actually fucking working. And this just seems like an entire waste of time. And then schools are going to spend money on these things, but it's only going to be the rich schools where it really never happens. And then the poor schools who end up actually might need this because they have a lot of gang violence are not going to be able to do it because it's going to be considered racist. So then the actual people, like, if this actually works, they will never actually get used.
Now, the close quarter drone system is now being integrated with other security companies and is expected to begin pilot testing this summer. But just fascinating advances in technology here, and drones, obviously police and others, or schools trying to get in on this space to protect others.
That's pretty amazing to think that it should be like a sprinkler.
Right, as something as benign as a sprinkler system, you could have these installed.
Ever since we had that one shooting where you had the whole SWAT team, like all these officers doing nothing, it feels like we've gone backwards in logic. So I don't remember the specific shooting where there was shooting happening and there was all these officers sitting in the hallway because they're scared. Like, I love the police. Like, I'm a big fan of the police, but that whole situation was extremely embarrassing for them because they were sitting there scared on their phones, memeing, hanging out when people were dying actively, when they should have been pushing that building. Um, it's like we have all these trained professionals that, like, I'm not asking if anybody should be putting their lives on the line, but if this is your role in our community, in our society, and we're paying you for that, and you're trained to protect people, not asking them to run into the furnace, but we have means to stop this. And also, that doesn't actually, like, this just seems like a waste of money. If anything, this would make more sense if, like, for example, shoplifting. You press a button, drones drop down, follow the person, stealing, and they just follow them throughout the building. So you don't have an employee trying to chase them, and you just have the drone following them until police get there. That makes more sense, actually. But in the school, it just feels like if you're not able to respond fast enough to something like this, and that you need to rely on a drone to maybe work, maybe, again, I'm just skeptical. Then the fundamental issue is not the drone, it's the response time, because these are schools, right? These are schools. So that's all I'm saying. It's I guess what I'm trying to say, let me just repeat what I'm trying to say clearly, is we as taxpayers have spent so much money and years of money developing systems and giving police departments the tools that they need and more, billions of dollars across the board, across the United States, to buy essentially paramilitary equipment. Like, they're basically a small military, right? They have crazy equipment. And if you're so worried about your response time to respond to something like this at a school, maybe you'd be like, yo, maybe we need to build our department next to a school, a branch of our department next to the school, so we're literally right next to it. Like, how, like, I just feel like we're missing a fundamental issue here. This whole video makes me so mad. I just think that I I know a lot of people are not going to expect what I'm saying about this, but I just hope people understand what I'm saying, because I just feel like this is an extremely waste of money, time. But again, if they want to prove me wrong, if they say, hey, we'll show you that it actually works, we'll come out. I'll come out. If they want to fly me out, I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to pay to go get proven wrong. I'll tell you what. But if they want to fly me out, I'll make a video. And if whatever the results are, I'll publish it. No questions asked. You know what I mean? So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Am I overreacting? Should we as a country be even entertaining this idea that drones need to be in schools when it doesn't fundamentally address the issues of, I don't know, bad parenting, keeping the parents accountable? If parents were held accountable for these things and their kids getting these firearms, I guarantee you the parents would actually be good about securing their weapons. Because if they can go to jail too, maybe we'll see less of them because they'll be more responsible. It doesn't address the fact that a lot of schools won't actually, if this technology actually works, a lot of schools won't actually implement it because they'll find 99 excuses on why it's racist. The only schools that can actually use it are wealthy schools, but even then it's extreme waste of money because oftentimes those schools don't have those issues. And also typically have officers present on the campus. So there's a lot of, like, it's just, who is this? Who does this actually work for? Is my frustration. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Am I overreacting? Love you guys. Check it out next time. Bye-bye. This video is brought to you actually by viewers like you. Thank you so much for subscribing and being part of my journey and allowing me to be a part of yours. Let's create new memories this 2025 on our road to 1 million subscribers. And with all that jazz out of the way, I just want to say thank you so much. I love y'all and enjoy the video.